on YouTube. Just getting out here in the shop today, getting rolling. So first thing on the docket here is we're gonna go ahead and get this door mount laid out, get it hammered down so it's in its locked out location. I'm gonna go ahead and do some wheel well work. The wheel wells all trimmed out and where they want to be and whatnot like that. But the first thing is we got to go ahead and get this all drilled and bolted down so its position is fixed, and then go from there. Alright, so you guys see me getting the screws all drilled, or the bolt holes all drilled up. Got her mounted down now. Then we came back here and I had to trim my wheel well. Got this little homemade tool here that I built a couple years back. Just runs off a mud cover, little bolt and some predetermined holes, and just put a Sharpie in there. Follow around the wheel well, gives you a nice wheel well. Mark the cut. Go ahead and cut it, and then we'll take it over to the table, pull it all off, take it over to the table, get it all filed up and cleaned up and ham-edged. And basically, what you guys had seen me doing was putting riv nuts in. And what riv nuts do is use this little here machine, and this is a riv nut. It's pretty much like a rivet. It's just threaded inside, screwed onto this tool here, and then when you close it up, it pulls the riv nut in, and it starts flare. It squishes it and flares it out right here up against the aluminum, and it locks it down in the aluminum. That way you don't have to have nuts on the back side of your bolts for your doors and stuff like that. It just screws right in. You ain't gotta mess with no nuts. So go ahead and get this door yanked off of here, throw it up on the bench, get it all cleaned up, and start bead rolling some wheel wells and get this left rear all buttoned up, hopefully. So we got the door off, getting ready to bead roll this wheel well. Got it all cleaned up, trimmed up, prepped for bead rolling. Normally when we bead roll wheel wells, and I'll show you what I mean by bead roll, but normally what we had to do was use our old bead roller. So you got that whole door hanging way up here in the air, and I'm running that little foot pedal while somebody's trying to hold the door, and I'll feed it through here and roll the whole edge and try to keep it perfectly true running around the edge. So I got these new little things that came out a couple years back called Hemp Pros. And that was a mandatory purchase for the body guy, or he was going to quit because he was sick of doing it the old school way. I guess that's not really the old school way. The old school way would be by hand, but there are these little guys right here, so it's a two-step process. So basically what you do is you can set your distance. This little block moves in and out on this rod, and then you run it on your well, and you'll turn it up to 90, and then this one takes it from 90 to 180, and I'll show you what that is. So if you look at it right now, it's just a sharp edge of aluminum right there. So I'll go ahead and set you up. see what I'm doing here, what I'm working with. Alright, so you take your Hemp Pro, slide it on there like so, and just start rolling the edge. So that's that one. So you can see it, it turned it up 90 degrees. So I got a nice little lip there. Then we'll grab our other one, we'll come back in and follow it up. That's your final product. Rolls it over, and you just come in with a hammer and tap it flat. Gives you a nice, smooth, rounded edge, so it's not sharp, so you don't got to worry about it cutting your hands or your arms or tire. That's how you work a Hemp Pro, and that's how you bead roll a wheel well.
Well, here we are, end of the day. You guys seen earlier Brandon getting the wheel well all set up, so obviously that's all done. Got the quarter panel stapled down, the plastic on now. It worked out pretty well. We were kind of not concerned, but we thought we might have to do some more strapping, new strapping, but everything from the existing stuff that we had worked out. So we were able to use that and get everything tucked back in where it needed to be. The other thing, we were able to get the spoiler all mounted on, fastened down. These things just take a little bit of time. They're way easier nowadays than they used to be because they're all pre-made now. But you know, you got to put a shit ton of rivets in it and get everything lined up where it needs to be. So basically, we're at the point now we're finished getting the door all mounted down. Get the right side door all pulled in and strapped where it needs to be. That's going to have to be some new strapping because just some of the geometry changed a little bit with the new deck. But definitely in a good spot. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to get the cockpit stuff all buttoned up. We still had a few things to do yet. The deck mistake kind of set us back on that, but hopefully we'll be able to get that all buttoned up, get the doors and quarters, everything all buttoned up and finished. And then Brandon will be ready to start on the sail panels for the roof. Plan tomorrow is also kind of get the radiator back in, get the front bumper painted, get it back on. We picked up our new Dominator nose piece today, so first year messing with one of those. Seems to be a pretty good design now, and hopefully that'll go on smooth. So we'll kind of start heading in that direction tomorrow, and then that'll set us up for the rest of the week, and hopefully be able to finish up this body and everything within the next week or so. So we're in a good spot. Got the vinyl guy I'll talk to. He's working on the vinyl, and things are rolling along. So we're getting down to that crunch time part of the season, and as Brandon said, basically about 6 weeks to go, and we'll be at the racetrack. So if everything goes smooth, that should be no issue at all, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Well, a little bit of a wrap-up video for this week. So We showed you we had the spoiler on last night, and we're able to make a little bit of progress today. Things usually don't go as planned, so at least in the shop here. But anyhow, we did make some progress. We got the plastic on the door down there, kind of got the whole right side of the car buttoned up. We still got to strap the door. Brandon was able to get the sail panel made today, get everything all hem edged. I mean, he showed you the Hemp Pros yesterday, so that worked out. That was the first time we were able to use them for a panel like that. And then up front here, we started messing around with the nose. Got the bumper all painted and back on. As you can see, we're using our ride height sticks to simulate full suspension travel, just to kind of get a better idea of where the right front of the car actually will be. With the different deck this year, it's going to be a little bit different upper fender, so we just want to make sure that we're kind of trying to simulate as much as we possibly can and cover all our bases. That way we don't have any issues once we get to the track and start racing. So not as a productive weekend as we hoped it would be, but certainly not bad. We're actually heading in the right direction this time. So hopefully throughout the week here we'll be able to get the front nose all finished up, and then start with the upper fenders. And I mean, everything is kind of getting to the finishing up stages as far as the body goes. You get all that stuff done, and then, you know, get the cockpit all tidied up and buttoned up, and the body will basically be done. So luckily we were able to use some of the strapping and things like that that we already had on the car, which saves a bunch of time. And then going forward, we'll get that knocked out and then kind of go in reverse. Normally you do mechanical and then do your body, but this year we kind of did it backwards since we don't have a ton of mechanical work to do. So we'll get this body all done and then take it back off, get it out of the way, and hammer for a couple weeks on mechanical stuff, which hopefully a week or two and that stuff will be knocked out. So we'll get some video of that, but that's just kind of wanted to wrap up this week and segue into the coming week here, and hopefully next couple times you see us, we'll be finishing up a nose and, you know, building some upper fenders. I'm sure Brandon will probably go through some of that because there's definitely some figuring out and technique involved in getting those done. So it's kind of neat to see how those come together. And this year will be a little bit different yet with the new decking. The upper fenders are a little bit different too. So just keep rolling along like he told you. Yesterday, I think we got, you know, what, 6 weeks or something like that till we're trying to go to the track. So it is crunch time. It is crunch season. That means some late nights and a whole lot of money spent in a short amount of time. So with that, everybody have a good week, and we'll see you soon.